Hello everyone, this is VGTI, and as of today, October 2nd, 2022, the channel is officially 9 years old.
The Enrichment Center is required to remind you that you will be baked, and then there will be cake.
Can you believe I've been doing this for 9 years? It might be more accurate to say 6 years, since I ghosted for 3 of those for reasons you can find over yonder. I've never done any special things for my channel's past anniversaries, so I thought now is the time to change that. We are going to celebrate VGTI style today, and what I mean by that is we're going to go back to the very first video on my channel and re-examine that theory to see how it holds up today. Think of it as sort of a reaction video if you like, but with me adding in my thoughts and any potential new theories or updates I have to existing ones as I watch. And so, with that, let's hop in a time machine and see what 18-year-old VGTI was going on about.
Hello viewers, this is VGTI, the show where I talk about video game theories and mysteries, and give my own as well. Now, this first episode will be about the entire Pikmin series, and any theories and mysteries behind it.
You might notice these older videos sound pretty stilted with a lot of pauses, repeat sentences, things like that. I made the beginner mistake of not writing any scripts. I would just press record and throw out my thoughts. It didn't make for very good listening, and for some reason I did that for all of my videos until I came back from my 3-year absence. This is why my newer videos tend to be shorter in length.
Now, if you want my personal opinion, which is what I'm doing this show for, I would say that the humans got in some kind of nuclear war because you find a treasure in Pikmin 2 that helps you find treasures. It's a gauge, but it's obviously a Geiger counter. And the needle spikes up usually when you approach treasures, which leads me to believe that they are soaked in radiation. And of course the Hokatations don't know what a Geiger counter is, so they don't realize.
I actually made a slip up here, completely forgetting about Olimar's Geiger counter ship part from Pikmin 1. Back in the day, I slapped on a video annotation here correcting that, but unfortunately, due to YouTube's new tools, annotations are a thing of the past, so any of those I use just aren't there anymore.
But it just adds to the theory more that the humans might have gotten into a nuclear war.
I still think the nuclear war theory holds up pretty well. Some recent evidence, like Hey Pikmin and the murals from Pikmin 3, might point towards humanity just technologically progressing, so much so that they've left Earth behind and colonized elsewhere in the galaxy. Just some food for thought.
There is a legend in Japanese folklore about a spirit called the Umibozu, who lives in the ocean and capsizes the ships of sailors who dare speak to it. The 2 Japanese characters in its name mean sea and monk, more specifically a Buddhist monk, as their heads resembled the shaved heads of Buddhist monks. They were often reported to be praying, or so it looked like, and they were also reported to appear gray and cloudy and have serpentine limbs. They were said to bring a sense of fear and dread into anyone who looked upon them, and, as the legend goes, they reportedly killed captains of ships and stealed their treasures.
Fun fact, I chose the Umibozu topic for my first video due to it being a popular theory making the rounds at the time. My channel began not long after the release of Pikmin 3, so the fan theories surrounding things like the Plasm Wraith and the ending were really blowing up. I saw those 2 videos from Dave10772 and Daz Reviews, and immediately grew interested in the theory being true.
Well, if you listen closely, it really does sound like something from Pikmin, doesn't it? That's right, the Water Wraith. The Water Wraith is a very mysterious entity that you encounter in Pikmin 2 in the cave in the perplexing pool called the Submerged Castle. And if you compare it to the legend of the Umibozu, you can see a lot of similarities. The top of its head is bald, and it appears gray and cloudy, and it does have what seems to be serpentine-looking limbs. However, with the release of Pikmin 3, the final boss of that game has added even more fuel to this fire. You see, the final boss in Pikmin 3 is none other than the Plasm Wraith. Now, immediately when I got to this part in Pikmin 3, I just had a lot of alarm bells going off in my head as to how similar this thing was to the Water Wraith.
Obviously, the connection between the Plasm and Water Wraiths are quite apparent, and even more so nowadays thanks to Pikmin 3 Deluxe and Olimar straight up acknowledging the similarities. It's pretty clear at this point that Nintendo is intentionally setting up some sort of thread here. Makes you wonder what exactly is going to go down in Pikmin 4 now that it's been announced. No, there won't be a reaction video to that trailer, by the way, but I will say I teared up and screamed. Lots of screaming. I mentioned it in a comment recently, but I might take a look at the trailer and analyze it in a future video.
But one thing's for sure, the thing that hit Olimar was a meteor that he didn't see. If you look in the manual for Pikmin, you find out that he was actually drinking tea inside his ship and not paying attention. And with the Umibozu, you usually have to speak to it to anger it. Could this have been a way to anger it though? Olimar accidentally crashing into it and landing on the planet? Was the meteor actually the Umibozu, or was it housing a creature similar to the Umibozu?
It's funny I say this in my first video, as this becomes the basis for the Gulix theory I put forward in this video. Essentially, it's just a theory that states the meteor from Pikmin 1 contained an alien life form. That life form is the Gulix, who may or may not become or possess the Smoky Prog, which then goes on to become the Water Wraith, and eventually the Plasm Wraith. Still, the one Pikmin theory I think holds up the best, considering the evidence.
Fast forward to the end of Pikmin 1, and you fight the final boss, the Emperor Bullblax. Once you kill it, it digs itself into the ground, and it's spinning around in circles wildly, with its tongue hanging out. It drips out blue saliva that looks suspiciously like the Gulix's liquid. And of course, once you kill it, there's no corpse and no soul left behind. The same thing goes for the Titan Dweeble as well. Once you strip off all its weapons, it's reduced to a mere shell of its former self, and killing it's really easy. Kind of similar to the Water Wraith, isn't it? Anyways, once you kill it, a bunch of blue bubbles surround it, and there's no corpse or soul left behind, similar to how the Gulix and the Emperor Bullblax both died, and the Water Wraith didn't leave behind a corpse or soul either.
These connections pointing to the final bosses of the first two games assume the idea that the Gulix/Wraith really is the Umibozu, the creature from Japanese folklore.
But you may be wondering why it seems like, in Pikmin 3, the Plasm Wraith, it looks like it's protecting Olimar almost. It's not letting him leave, but it's certainly not trying to kill him. So why would it be doing that if it's the Umibozu that's been trying to kill him throughout the whole series?
There's still no solid answer on why the Plasm Wraith is so obsessed with Olimar specifically, or why he wasn't harming him. At this point in the video, I theorize based off the Umibozu theory that the Umibozu views Olimar himself as a treasure, since he has the Kopite's cosmic drive key. Rewatching it now though, this feels flimsy. I don't know, just the idea that the Umibozu can't retrieve the key from Olimar doesn't feel right to me. As far as why it's obsessed with him, Deluxe doesn't offer much else to this question. As I mentioned in my Pikmin 3 Lingering Questions video, it almost seems as if Olimar has no memory of his captivity. Whatever the case, it's clear the Wraith is interested in him specifically, since it didn't hesitate to kill the Kopites and the Pikmin to get Olimar back. This definitely hints at something about the Wraith, but what is anyone's guess right now?
At the very end of Pikmin 3, if you got all of the fruit in the game, you see something crashing on the Pikmin planet, and the Pikmin rush over to investigate what it is, but it never shows what it is, of course. So could it be our 5 heroes crashing back down to the planet? Could it be some other captain that the Umibozu is trying to lure to the planet? Who knows? but it could be hinting at a future DLC, or even Pikmin 4, but with that, I'm more doubtful.
Oh man, my idea about the ship being a future DLC ended up being half right. Not a DLC, but a special mode in a remastered game. I'll take it. So overall, how does the Umibozu theory hold up? To be honest, not well. While I do think it's a fun idea, and it does add a spooky layer to Pikmin as a whole, I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm older, or maybe I've just had more time to think about Pikmin, but the way I see it is this. Pikmin is a very scientifically grounded series. Obviously, it takes place in the far future, so there's a lot to speculate about, but the supernatural has never really been a thing in Pikmin. The closest thing to the supernatural we have are the wraiths, which all of our attempts to explain as psychic phenomena and hallucinations. We obviously know these are no mere hallucinations. Just ask the Copites. But while these creatures may indeed be nothing more than ghosts, I think the more likely explanation is a scientific one. It just fits the themes of the series better. As for what the wraiths are, well, that's a whole different issue. One we're still speculating about. Right now, I'm stewing around the idea of them being related to humans in some way, but that's as far as I've gotten. What do you guys think? Does the Umibozu theory still hold water? Or is there some other explanation to the wraiths? Let me know your own theories in the comments. It was a lot of fun looking back on my very first video. Back when I started the channel, I framed each episode almost like a dramatic TV experience. Nowadays, the channel is more of a casual look at weird stuff in video games. All in all, I'm just really happy with how much my video quality has improved. I hope those of you who have been around since this very first video agree. Anyway, nostalgia over, for now. Let me know if you want me to do a video like this for my other older theories. Could be interesting. If you'd like to support me in the channel, the best way you can do it would be the VGTI Patreon. Even just $1 helps me so much, and it only charges when I upload, which as you all know is not that often. I hope to get around to doing my next theory sooner rather than later, but next week I'll be starting a new full-time job, so my free time is going to be pretty shallow for a while. All the more reason the Patreon is there though. Hope to catch you all again real soon. Peace.